Dear people of God, I greet you in Jesus' name. Yesterday I shared with you what I personally learned from the character and ministry of Jeremiah. Today I want to share with you what I learned from the people during Jeremiah's time. Number one, I see that the people were very quickly entertaining new gods. They somehow enthroned new and foreign gods that their forefathers never knew. That was what Jeremiah's message was about these people and why judgment was coming upon them. Jeremiah chapter 1 verses 16, the Lord, when calling Jeremiah, he told him, this is the message of judgment that you are to bring to the people. What is the message of judgment? Number one, they are turning to other gods. Number two, they have forsaken me. They are worshipping gods that are made by their own hands, and therefore judgment is going to come upon them. Now, in chapter 44 verses 23, when Jeremiah and the little band of people were in Egypt, Jeremiah actually reminds them, why are you here? From living in a land that was flowing with milk and honey, you are now in a foreign land as an exile, having lost everything. Why? Because you abandoned God and His laws and you served foreign gods. So number one, people of God, an important question here that you and I got to ask is that, do we worship other gods? Now, I'm not saying we are creating idols, we are making idols and we are creating new gods. I'm not saying that. But unaware, we might be going astray from the God of the Bible. We may be pursuing our ambition, our dreams, and forsaking the God who created us. We might do that. People spend so much of time in their Facebook, in whatever chats. Now I'm not too aware of that, but anyway, video games, internet, and so forth. People spend so much of time advancing their career, making money and some kind of a political ambition. I'm not saying all these are wrong, but when our passion is diverted from God to these kind of things, when these things become more important than God, then there is a problem. I got to say there is a problem. Where is your zeal? Where is your passion? Where do you spend your energy and time? If God is not our ultimate priority, number one priority and focus, people of God, then we are in trouble. We are in trouble. Probably without knowing, you have erected gods in your heart, foreign gods, idols. Think again, think very deeply. The people, the Jews of Jerusalem and Judah got into trouble because they manufactured gods that were foreign. Number two, the second thing that I want to share with you, people of God, is that the people during Jeremiah's time, or even during our time, you will realize that, would prefer lie rather than the truth. It's amazing. They preferred the false prophets, the messages that they brought. The source of the false prophets were wrong. It was their own imagination, own creation. The news that they brought, the message that they brought in the name of the Lord. But they preferred that because the false prophets were prophesying security, peace, and stability. And so they thought, wow, this is nice to hear. Very motivating, very encouraging. Whereas Jeremiah's message was very depressing. Repent, leave your idols, come back to God. You are going away. Judgment is coming. Very depressing to hear Jeremiah. These false prophets were coaches, life coaches. They were telling you how to live. They were giving you 5 reasons, 5 ways how you can progress in life. 3 methods how you can get a promotion. And all this this was good. It's best. It's very relevant. And so they preferred a lie rather than the truth, people of God. In Egypt 44 verse 16, they say, Jeremiah, we will not listen to you. We will not listen to the message that you bring in the Lord's name. So people of God, the second thing that you got to ask is, am I going after lies? Am I being deceived by people who are already been deceived? 1 Timothy 3:15, Paul says, the church is the foundation and pillar of truth. Right? Only pillar of truth. The only foundation of truth. Not the news that you get in the TV. Not the opinion of the elders. It is in the church, because the church is the place where we are to preach the true gospel, the truth, and nothing but the truth. Galatians chapter 1 verses 6 to 9. May I read to you? Galatians 1, 6 to 9. I am astonished that you are so quickly deserting to the one who called you to live in the grace of Christ and are turning to a different gospel, which is really no gospel at all. Evidently, some people are throwing you into confusion and are trying to pervert the gospel of Christ. But even if we or an angel from heaven should preach a gospel other than the one we preach to you, let them be under God's curse. Paul reminds them again, verse 9. As we have already said, so now I say again, if anyone is preaching to you a gospel other than what you have accepted, let them be under God's curse. There is no gospel other than the gospel that has been delivered to us. Read the Bible, people of God. Know the truth. Know the gospel. Jesus saves. Jesus delivers. Study the word. Allow no false preacher into your hearts and into your ears. Keep to the truth. Stick to the truth. May the Lord be with you. May the Lord bless you and keep you in truth. These are the 2 things I learned from the book of Jeremiah about the people then. They abandoned God and went after new gods. Number 2, they abandoned truth and went after lies. Both we should be aware of and be cautious of. God bless you and God be with you. Amen.